take about a couple of minutes.
Yes.
And then actually, sir, we are live streaming it on the YouTube also, your session.
Okay, no problem. That's
Yes,
not an
sir.
issue.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Sir has given permission, Raghavan madam, for that.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Joshi madam is there, I think.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, welcome, sir. So you are joining back in a couple of minutes.
Good morning, Joshi ma'am.
Yes.
Yeah, 1 second. Sir. I'll mute. Achana ma'am, we'll start sharp at 11, huh?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes. It's 10:54 now.
Yeah, we'll start.
Yes. Sure.
गेस्ट लेक्चर में कसे
Let us start today's session. Good morning, all of you. First of all, let me welcome today's guest, Dr. Bhaskar Gupta, who will be talking on the theme of business model canvas, and also our principal, Dr. D.K. Nair, to this session of Institution Innovation Council. So just to give a small brief about our activities in the Institution Innovation Council of EPM's Polytechnic, MHRD, it is a MHRD initiative which was started in the year 2018. Immediately after the inception in the by MHRD, we also started. Can we mute all the members? Yeah. Immediately after the inception at New Delhi, we started in the month of December 2018, the Institution Innovation Council of VPM's Polytechnic. This effort basically is to foster and inculcate the culture of innovation and hands-on experiences among students with ideas and proof of concept. In the year of inception in 2018-19, we had a 3-star ranking, sir, and subsequently in 1920, we did, though it was a COVID period, we have done number of activities and we got a 4.5 stars. And based on that 4.5 stars that we got, we have been given the opportunity to mentor 5 mentee institutes and in the state of Maharashtra. Among the mentee institutes, we have 2 management institutes, 2 polytechnics and 1 engineering colleges, and we are doing a lot of collaborative work with them. In the year 2020-21, we got 4 stars, which was the highest star rating given by MOE to any institution. With these achievements, we try to provide as much of the knowledge and the acumen that are required for developing the skills of entrepreneurship, innovation, and with that, without taking much of time, I welcome you, sir, for this session. And may I now request Archana to kindly introduce today's guest. Archana, over to you.
Yes, ma'am. Good morning, one and all. Ma'am, something is wrong actually. There is a echo going on.
No, it's proper. There is no problem.
We are able to hear you clearly, Archana. No issues.
Mute everyone. It's fine.
I don't know, ma'am. Somewhere the continuous. Just a minute. Okay.
Archana?
Yes, ma'am. I'm there.
Yeah.
Good morning, one and all. I have a great privilege to introduce Dr. Bhaskar Gupta, sir. He is a veteran academician cum research scientist and director in Nitra Technical Campus, joining as a officiating director and dean. Hello.
Yes, we can hear you. We can hear you, Archana.
It is continuously.
Joshi madam, can you do it?
Do what?
Introduction. I think she's having some problem with the system.
Archana, we are able to hear you clearly. Just carry on.
Yes. Okay. Continuing with the introduction of Dr. Bhaskar Gupta. He is a person from electronics and communication. He is presently working as a president of IIC Cell and trained as an innovation ambassador by Ministry of Education Innovation Cell. He's also a coordinator for NISP and ARIA. He has been taking sessions on innovations, entrepreneurships, design and thinking, IPR, BMC, technology, readiness level, critical thinking since last 10 years across the country. He's a startup founder. He has more than 2 Indian patents filed, 2 copyrights and 2 book chapters in CRC Press. Dr. Gupta has been working basically as an academician, and he has been traveling around many countries like USA, South Korea, Oman, Afghanistan, Dubai, Ethiopia, and academic cum research mission. Amongst his R&D achievements are commercializations of electronic eye for blind people in collaboration with MSME Delhi, developing UAVs in collaboration with Korean aerospace industries. I now cordially invite Dr. Bhaskar Gupta to take up the forum and start his talk.
Thank you very much. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Officially welcome you all to this webinar on business model canvas, and would like to thank the management of VBM Polytechnic. Would like to express my sincere gratitude to Institution Innovation Council 4.0 of VBM. Would like to thank the President, IIC Cell, Vice President, Convener, and all the council members. I welcome all the students fraternity, teaching fraternity over here for attending this webinar on this wonderful topic, which is one of the Q3 activities, business model canvas. And as Madam said earlier, this is a vision of our Prime Minister to inculcate, to promote innovation and entrepreneurship ecosystem around the country. In view of that, only a couple of years back, IIC Cell concept came into the picture, and now as a president of IIC Cell, I know almost in each and every college, IIC cells have been established in order to nurture your innovative idea and budding ideas. As you have to work as a budding entrepreneur, you could be a founder of any startup. So with that view only, such kind of sessions are being conducted all across the country. I will now request the organizers to present the PPT at your end. So officially welcome you all to this webinar on business model canvas. Next, please. The business model canvas is a great tool to help you understand a business model in a straightforward and structured way. Next slide, please. Using this canvas will lead to insights about the customers you serve, what value propositions, next slide, are offered through what channels, and how your company is going to make money. That is very important. You can also use the innovative business model canvas to understand your own business in a more efficient manner or that of a competitor. The business model canvas was originally created by Alexander Osterwalder of Strategizer. So this was originally developed by Alexander, sir. Next. The business model canvas is a strategic management template used for developing new business models and documenting existing ones. It is offering a visual chart with elements describing a firm's or product's value proposition, infrastructure, customers, and finances, assisting businesses to align their activities by illustrating potential trade-offs. The 9 building blocks are there. You must know business model canvas consists of 9 basic building blocks. If you look at the design of business model template, you will come to know in coming slides that came to be called the business model canvas were initially proposed in year 2005 by Alexander based on his earlier work on business model ontology. Since the release of his work around 2008, new canvases for specific Nikes have appeared. So it is not just the business model canvas, but if you are working as an owner of the startup, you can also make use of lean startup methodology. In fact, number of innovative business models exist around us in order to innovate the developed product or the service which you are going to offer into the market for commercialization. Next. Osterwalder's canvas has 9 boxes, as I already told you, consisting of 9 basic building blocks. Customer segments is one of the blocks. Value propositions. So what is value proposition? It is about to add some value to the product which you have developed. It is about you have to explain what additional features you have added to the product or the online based service which you are going to sell into the market. So you have to be very careful about value propositions. Of course, channels. How are you going to communicate to the customer, consumer, or end user is to make use of communication channels. Customer relationships are equally important, which is about empathy. Empathy means you have to express your, mercy towards your customer. You have to gather the feedback from them. You have to analyze, you have to synthesize, and based on that, you have to perform the number of iterations until you get the right product in your hands. Revenue streams, you should remember in the early stages of any startup, high cost is involved and no more revenue generation is there as you have to work as a moderate risk taker. You have to exploit the opportunities around you, and certainly you have to innovate the things which you are going to develop as a startup founder. And key resources, key activities, key partnerships, and of course the cost structure involved in the establishment of the startup are all different basic building blocks of business model canvas. Next. Infrastructure. It is about key activities. The most important activities in executing a company's value proposition is about key activities. An example for big, everybody is knowing big, the pen manufacturer, would be creating an efficient supply chain to drive down costs. So it is about key activities under infrastructure, key resources, the resources that are necessary to create value for the customer. It is you only who can create the value for your product. And in that case, consumer has to pay. If you have added some value to your product, then only you will be able to sell your product. Otherwise, in the later stage of startup cycle, you would see your startup will fail and your idea will die. They are considered assets to a company that are needed to sustain and support the business. These resources could be human capital, financial, physical, and intellectual. Partner network. In order to optimize the things, optimize operations, reducing risk of a business model, organizations usually cultivate buyer-supplier relationships so they can focus on their core activities. Complementary business alliances also can be considered through joint ventures or strategic alliances between competitors or non-competitors. Next. Offerings. The collection of products and services a business offers to meet the needs of its customers. You have to understand, you have to be very careful when you are working with business model canvas. you have to implement the concept of design thinking also, which is having 5 important stages. And the very first important stage is empathy, where you have to empathize with your customer by interviewing, by taking their feedback, or by conducting online surveys. These are the number of ways through which you can collect the data, and then you can proceed further based on that information collected by you. According to Alexander, a company's value proposition is what distinguishes it from its competitors. So it is the value only that is going to differentiate, between your product and other companies' products. The value proposition provides value through various elements such as newness, uniqueness, performance parameters, customization, getting the job done, design, branding, status, price, cost reduction, risk reduction, accessibility, and convenience and usability. The value propositions may be quantitative and qualitative. If we are going to talk about quantitative, it is about the price and efficiency. Qualitative analysis is about overall customer experience and outcomes. So we have to focus on these two, quantitative and qualitative parameters. Next, customers. So customer is one of the important parameters while working with business model canvas. Without customer, nothing is possible. So that's why I have been telling you, you have to empathize with your customer. You have to understand their needs and wants. And based on that, you have to make the necessary modifications. You have to make necessary modifications required in your product design, in your online-based service. So this is about your customer segment. To build an effective business model, a company must identify which customers it tries to serve. Various sets of customers can be segmented based on their different needs and attributes to ensure appropriate implementation of corporate strategy to meet the characteristics of selected groups of clients. The different types of customer segments include next. So mass market, there is no specific segmentation for a company that follows the mass market element as the organization displays a wide view of potential clients, that is car. Nike market, customer segmentation based on specialized needs and characteristics of its clients, that is Rolex. Everybody is knowing Rolex in watches. Segmented, a company applies additional segmentation within existing customer segment. In the segmented situation, the business may further distinguish its clients based on gender, age, or income. Diversify. How can we diversify? A business serves multiple customer segments with different needs and characteristics. Multi-sided platform, public market. For a smooth day-to-day business operations, some companies will serve mutually dependent customer segments. A credit card company will be providing services to credit card holders while simultaneously assisting merchants who accept those credit cards. So it is about your market. Next. So in order to communicate something, that is telecommunication, that communication at a distant place. So we have to communicate things with the help of communication channels, and more effective channels must be there in order to transfer your information from one place to another place. A company can deliver its value proposition to its targeted customers through different channels. Effective channels will distribute a company's value proposition in ways that are fast, efficient, and cost effective. An organization can reach its clients through its own channels with the help of storefront, partnering channels, major distributors of your company, or sometimes a combination of both could be used in order to deliver your value proposition to the targeted customers. Next. Customer relationships is equally important while dealing with consumers or the end users for the sale. To ensure the survival and success of any businesses, companies must identify the type of relationship they want to create with their customer segments. So it is about a positive relationship that you have to create with your end users by understanding their day-to-day needs and wants, and based on that you have to develop the innovative product which you are going to sell. That element should address three critical steps on a customer's relationship: how the business will get new customers, how the business will keep customers purchasing or using its services, and how the business will grow its revenue from its current customers. Various forms of customer relationships include: next, personal assistance. Assistance in a form of employee-customer interaction. Such assistance is performed during sales and or after sales. Dedicated personal assistance, the most intimate and hands-on personal assistance in which a sales representative is assigned to handle all the needs and questions of a special set of clients. Self-service, the type of relationship that translates from the indirect interaction between the company and the clients. Here, an organization provides the tools needed for the customers to serve themselves easily and effectively. Automated services, a system similar to self-service but more personalized, as it has the ability to identify individual customers and their preferences. An example of this would be Amazon.com, making book suggestions based on the characteristics of previous book purchases. I hope you must have understood. Next. Communities. Creating a community allows for direct interactions among different clients and the company. The community platform produces a scenario where knowledge can be shared and problems are solved between different clients. Co-creation. Co-creation means you have to understand, you have to keep the view of customer when you are working in your startup. You have to understand their wants and needs, and based on that you have to work. That is called co-creation. A personal relationship is created through the customer's direct input to the final outcome of the company's products or services. So what I mean to say, co-creation refers to take the input from the customer until you get your desired outcome of the startup or the company. Next. Finances. Finances, we are going to talk about the cost structure mainly, the cost which is involved in the establishment of the startup or enterprise or the company. This describes the most important monetary consequences while operating under different business models. Classes of business structures, cost-driven. This business model focuses on minimizing all costs involved and having no frills. That is low-cost airlines. So it is cost-driven. Value-driven is about less concerned with cost. This business model will be focusing on creating value for the products and services, that is Louis Vuitton, Rolex, etc. So you might be having a costly Rolex watches in the market if you are going to purchase, because they might have adopted a value-driven business model where the cost involved is very high, but because they have added the value to the products, that's why we are paying higher amount of money for purchasing Rolex watches, Apple iPhones, and there are number of products existing in the market for which we have to pay higher amount of money. Next. Characteristics of cost structures. It is about fixed costs. Costs are unchanged across different applications, that is salary, rent, etc. Variable costs. Costs vary depending on the amount of production of goods or services, that is music festivals. Economies of scale. Costs go down as the amount of goods are ordered or produced. Economies of scope. Costs go down due to incorporating other businesses which have a direct relation to the original product. So here, these are some of the important characteristics of the cost structures. Next. Revenue streams. Next slide. Revenue streams, the way a company is going to make income from each customer segment. Several ways are there to generate a revenue stream. Asset sale, the most common type, selling ownership rights to a physical goods, that is retail corporations. Usage fee, money generated from the use of a particular service, that is UPS. Uninterruptible power supplies. Subscription fees, revenue generated by selling access to a continuous service, that is Netflix. Leasing.
Gupta, you're on mute, I think.
For product advertising, the part of revenue streams, which is one of the important blocks of business model canvas. Next. Application. The business model canvas can be printed out on a large surface so that groups of people can jointly start sketching and discussing business model elements with post-it notes or board markers. You can use any kind of A4 sheet also in the beginning if you want to design business model canvas. It is a hands-on tool that is going to foster the understanding, discussions, creativity, imagination, and analysis. It is distributed under a Creative Commons license from Strategizer AG and can be used without any restrictions for modeling businesses. The business model canvas is also available in web-based software format, which you can easily download from the internet. So you don't have to pay anything, and based on this already published canvas, you can design your own canvas, and this way your startup can lead to the success. Next. The business model canvas has been used and adapted to suit specific business scenarios and applications. Examples include product market fit, supply chain management, cash flow, internal communications with the help of communication channels. Next. How to use the canvas. The business model canvas is a shared language for describing, visualizing, assessing, and changing business models. It describes the rationale of how an organization creates, delivers, and captures value. Next. Customer segments. List the top 3 segments. Look for the segments that provide the most revenue. Value proposition. What are your products and services? What is the job you get done for your customer? That is very important. Revenue streams. List your top 3 revenue streams. If you do things for free, add them here too. So it is up to you as a startup founder. Next, channels. How do you communicate things with your customer? That is done with the help of channels. How do you deliver the value proposition to the end user? That is the function of the channel. Customer relationships. How does this show up and how do you maintain the relationship is about customer relationships, key activities. What do you do every day to run your business model are all come under key activities to be initiated and executed on day-to-day basis for your business venture. Next. Key resources, the people, knowledge, means, and money you need to run your business are all different resources required for running your business successfully. In the earlier stages of any startup, I have already told you there are no venture capitalists, there are no angel investors, no successful entrepreneurs who are going to provide you working capital. So you are the moderate risk taker. Don't expect any financial gain, any revenue generation, but gradually over the time, once you achieve the product market fit, you will understand your business will lead towards the growth stage. And at that time, you can think of scaling up your business. Key partners, list the partners that you can't do business without. So you have to find the suppliers, you have to find the people who can invest money in your business. You can apply to incubators, accelerators, utter incubation centers for the financial support, who can provide you financial support, for your business. Cost structure. You have to list down your top costs by looking at the different activities and the resources available around you. Next. So if you look at this is a nine basic building blocks are there, and this is one example of business model canvas. Here you can see the key partners are there. First one, key activities, key resources, value propositions, customer relationships, channels, customer segments, cost structure, revenue streams. So these are the 9 important basic building blocks of any business model canvas, and you can fill it yourself once you are going for a business, and you can compare your own business model with this existing business model canvas, and based on that you can work. So if it is about key partners, it could be a strategic partner, Facebook, and many others who can collaborate with you. It is a kind of collaborative effort. Key activities for running your business, day-to-day activities. It is about creation, promotion, reporting, and of course, optimizing the operations. Value propositions. It is about digital marketing, engine marketing, social media, email marketing, search engines, optimization, e-businesses, and e-shop, and of course, development, customer relationships. The goal is get the concept of e-business away from the client. The account manager is high in the hierarchy. So customer relationship is very important. Customer segments, companies from various industries, big advertising companies representing a set of companies. They are distinguished in performance and branding. Key resources is about your employees, digital marketing tools, automatic reporting algorithms, channels, word of mouth, applying in awards. Cost structure is about your cost involved in staff cost, operating day-to-day expenses, other expenses, partnering. Revenue streams, fixed monthly charge per customer is a part of revenue stream. Next. If you are working for a lean enterprise, then these blocks might have some different meaning, because if you are going to make use of lean startup methodology, the key partners, it is about innovation project, it is about lean enterprise. In key activities, sharing lean enterprise principles and basics, designing and conducting experiments to validate your hypothesis. When you have to validate your experimental proof of concept also, which is a kind of written document speaking about the technical feasibility and commercial viability. So please do remember to work on a right problem If no right problem has been identified by you, then your startup might be working in a wrong direction, and by that time you won't be able to change. So you have to be very careful about your prototype validation also. That is, by what I mean to say, you have to validate your hypothesis. You have to be very careful about your product market fit, problem solution fit also on working for a product. Value propositions helping innovate more efficiently, using existing resources more intensively, built on existing innovation, increased speed to market of innovations, pivoting iterations, better management, creates innovation culture in the long run. Customer relationships is about coaching, online learning, workshops, help from the community. Customer segments is about for profit, non-profit, government, all economic sectors will be covered. Channels is about cross-functional project champions, international innovation initiatives. Cost structure. Cost structure is about corporate staff time, change management cost, revenue streams, incremental financing based on innovation accounting, revenues associated with de-rising business models, revenues associated with faster time to market, which is about lean enterprise. Next. You can learn a lot from your competition. Next, please choose some competitors and map their business models. Armed with this information, you will have deep insight into what customers want and what they are willing to pay for. You will have a more clearer picture in front of you of just how customers' needs are met across the entire industry, not just in your company. And you will uncover vital information about how other businesses, maybe even very successful businesses, have created their own spaces in the market. Next slide, please. Next slide. Could you please go to the next slide? Next. We must be ready with a checklist. Get the right team of 3 to 5 people together. Try to grab a large chunk of wall space where you are going to design. Print or draw the canvas on a big sheet of the paper. It could be any A3, A4 sheet also. Have plenty of sticky notes with you and markers ready. Allow yourself 45 to 60 minutes of undisturbed time. Next. Start by mapping out the business on a high level. Only the most important, vital aspects of the business model. Tip, try to make your criteria as clear as possible so that you and others will still understand what they mean in 3 months' time. Split up more complex design criteria. Next. Link up the building blocks. Once you have worked with all 9 blocks, it's the time to link up. Every value proposition needs a customer segment and a revenue stream. When everything is on the board, take a step back. Have a short break. Did you miss anything? Did you forget something? You have to think about. Tip, if you have multiple customer segments, it is best to pick a color for each segment in the post-it notes you are going to make use of. That way, you easily see if for each segment there is a value proposition and a revenue stream. So you have to be very careful when you are going to work with your canvas. Pick up different colors and check out for revenue streams and value proposition for each segment you are going to analyze. Next. Don't mix ideas for a future state with what is going on right now, and don't mix different departments. If you work for a large organization, you might find varying value propositions and business models. In that case, ask the different departments to map out their own business models. You can compare them afterwards. If it is a big organization, the different business models might exist, and you can ask the different departments to map out their own business model, and later on you can compare them with each other for the better understanding. Next, take a step back, check if every customer segment is linked to a value proposition and a revenue stream. Make sure everything on the left side of the canvas is needed to support the right side of the canvas. Everything else can go. Rank your business model's performance on the basis of 0. If it is bad, you are going to give 0. If it is excellent, you are going to give 10 out of 10. For each of the following questions, how much does switching costs prevent your customers from churning? How scalable is your business model? How innovative is it? Does your business model produce recurring revenues? These are all important aspects of any business model canvas, and you have to give marks out of 10 based on whether it is bad or good or very good or excellent. It is up to you. Next, do you earn before you spend? That is very important. How much of the work can be done by others? Does your business model providing built-in protection from the competition existing around us? On what cost structure is your business model based? All of these things have to be considered very carefully. Next, tip: have an artist visualize your business model. It helps to create impact also. So impact creation is equally important when sharing the model, and it makes it easier for others to become connected. So you have to be very, very careful about your 9 basic building blocks of the canvas. I'm not saying you have to use the same kind of canvas which has been widely used in the past, but you can design your own business model, innovative business model, so that you are going to promote some sort of disruptive innovation around you. Since last many years, we have been using an incremental kind of innovation, radical kind of innovation, but it's the right time to implement disruptive kind of innovation where we can make use of some innovative business models and latest technologies in order to improve the performance of the startup. Just like you must be knowing Ola, Uber, Airbnb, the different, startups, unicorn. These are all unicorn startups which were born during COVID-19 pandemic. They have successfully implemented the concept of design thinking, technology readiness level, innovative business models, lean startup methodology, problem solution fit, product market fit. So many things have been implemented successfully by these startups, and they acquired the status of unicorn during COVID-19 only. And the government is expecting the number, around 84 unicorn startups are existing around the country till now, which were, and out of these, 42 were born during COVID-19 only. And we are expecting to achieve this number, 100 number, by 2023. And with the help of this kind of ecosystem, we had been able to, the global innovation index of 47. Now we have really performed well. And you see the global innovation index, which was, very high in the past few years. Now we have improved a lot. Next. Take a snapshot picture of your business model canvas for easy to share future reference. Ask team members, discuss the business model with others. Trigger team members to actively look for 1 to 2 blind spots. Filter out the design criteria based on that. And of course, you have to test your hypothesis or the assumptions made during this long journey. Next. Thank you very much. That's all from my side. Dr. Joshi, that's all from my side.
Yes, sir. Okay, thank you, sir. Anybody has any questions to ask? Hello, students. Do you have any query? Okay, no questions. So I think we can conclude the talk today. So Dr. Gupta, I'm really thankful to you for accepting our invitation to be the guest speaker today and illustrating the fine nuances of business in the form of business model canvas as you listed down the 9 points and the small tips that you gave to the students. I think will go a long way, will be ingrained in their minds when they think of doing such businesses. So I think it is a tool to identify and put your ideas clearly and should be able to communicate with each other. I think this document will help, if I'm not wrong. So thank you so much again. Sir is a very popular speaker among all the innovation ambassadors that we have in the country. And so I'm really thankful to you, sir, for sparing some time for us as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Ma'am, can we have one picture?
Yeah. Yeah, if all of you can just.
Dr. Gupta, yeah, please don't leave.
Bhaskar sir, I request Bhaskar sir to switch on the camera.
Please switch on your cameras. Dr. Gupta.
Hello.
Shall I leave now?
Sir, just 1 minute, sir. We just want to take one picture. So can you please switch on
Okay.
your media?
Yes, yes. Sure, sure.
Archana, you are taking?
Yes, ma'am. It's done. Yes. Yes, ma'am. Yes, done.
Done. Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you, students.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, students. I think must have surely given you a overall perspective of the business canvas model, which will be helpful to you when you start your own business, so that it is properly documented and you are able to identify the key resources and the key factors. I think Joshi madam, well, let me personally thank you for arranging this session. It was a very informative session.
My pleasure
Sure.
for everyone.
Yeah, and I'm sure students must have enjoyed this. Thank you so much.
At least some inputs they would have surely got.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
We enjoyed this lecture a lot. The lecture
Yeah.
was very amazing. Like we got to learn about so many things which might be useful to us in our future. So
Absolutely.
like it was a very
Absolutely.
informative lecture.
Absolutely. Yes, yes. Okay. I think.
Yeah. Okay, then
Should we leave?
go
Yeah.
to our respective classes? Yes. Okay.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.